Okay, continuing on this edition of Ear to Ear. In studio with me now from the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, I have Amy Thomas. How are you doing today, Amy?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks.
And before we get to talking about some of the issues with MS, I just want to talk, we're going to get to know you a little bit. So I guess just how did you get to this point and how did you get to work for the National MS Society?
I was first introduced to the Multiple Sclerosis Society in 2007. I started as a volunteer, and I also have participated in a lot of their fundraising initiatives. I have a team that has participated for 7 years in their Walk MS event in Edwardsville, Illinois. We also participate in an event called the Ugly Bartender. Ugly is an acronym for Understanding Generous, Lovable You, and it very obviously takes place in a tavern. So we've participated in that fundraiser, and I just ran some totals, and over the 7 years that my personal team has been involved, we've raised $27,000 for the Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Okay. So you do a lot of stuff out of the office, so you're not confined to just sitting there and looking at numbers and stuff all day.
Correct.
Okay, see, that sounds fun, and it definitely interesting, definitely needed for the MS Society as well. Some of our listeners may not have a good idea, but I guess what in general is MS?
Multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease, and it affects your central nervous system, very specifically your spinal cord and your brain. And it is a disease in which your own immune system attacks the myelin surrounding your nerves. So for a visual, think of a corn dog, and if you pull away the breading and the hot dog is exposed, someone who has MS, that is what their nerves look like, and that interrupts the transmission of impulses. So your brain might be telling your foot to pick up and walk, and that signal might not be going through.
Yeah.
And so individuals who have MS, some of them might just have mild tingling in their hands, feel like they're getting a really excruciating hug. They call that the MS hug, and it's just kind of annoying to not being able to walk, not being able to utilize your body part, not being able to speak correctly, and your vision. Some individuals lose their vision as well, and that could be momentary, and it could be over long term.
And I guess I know you said there's different symptoms in different ways. There are like early warning signs people can pick up on. If they're like, what? I don't say. I guess like, could it be like hereditary, or is there like a particular set of warning signs that they can pick up on? Like, hey, I need to go to a doctor and get checked out, or something they can.
Unfortunately, no. Doctors do not believe that the disease is hereditary. They believe that there's environmental factors, that if you live in the same geographic region, that there are environmental reasons that you could develop MS, and so it may seem hereditary, but they can't find a common gene. As far as warning signs, there's really no warning signs.
Okay.
Like I talk about, like the tingling in your hand. You may not attribute that to anything other than you slept funny.
Yes.
And you slept funny numerous times, and that's the only thing you have, and you don't think that it's a disease.
Oh, like you say, you said like maybe your foot, you think it just fell asleep or something, but it's actually, probably a sign, or it could be a potential sign. So that's what I say. It's kind of one of those harder diseases to diagnose, I would think.
It is. It's usually after numerous, what they call exacerbations, numerous flare-ups, numerous symptoms occur, that someone actually makes it to a neurologist to try and figure out what exactly is wrong with them. The symptoms mirror, symptoms for a lot of other diseases, and so it takes a while to figure out if it's MS versus something else.
No, I remember the first time I ever remember hearing about MS was a guy. I think he's been pretty good